See, we need to get him a good matchup, right? So to me, Koiko has been the star of Liquid, even when they've been looking bad. He's been making plays, he's been trying to do something, he has been doing his job relatively well. So still, to me, he is the player that needs to shine. The others need to follow, of course. They should get better laning matchups, right?
Yeah, and as you mentioned, things like the DK, Mars, #1. If you get boxy those type of heroes, you can pop off. And the interesting thought is maybe do we see someone like the Shadow Demon coming out early here, because it does look like one of the more successful supports that you can pick in the open phase, especially when coupled with those strength heroes. I think DK, Lycan, and Mars will have really good win rates with it.
Yeah, I think for these two teams, they share quite a similar hero pool for their supports. It's the Tusk, Coddle, Grimstroke, kind of obviously all meta heroes, but these guys they very much jump to it straight away. Other teams might, like you said, they might go for like a Void Spirit or an SD or a Mars, but again, Mars is already banned. But yeah, just a casual Coddle to open up the draft for Team Nigma.
And then Ember.
And there's the Ember.
And
oh, we got another Ember game, boys.
Well, it would have been good with the Call, right?
I've seen this draft before. Incoming picks are DK. What was the other one? No, what was the other pick? Wait,
was it Bristle?
No, it was
oh, you mean for Liquid?
Yeah. He's talking about repeat the draft because they've done the Oracle, the Ember. They had the DK was the final pick, right? And then
it was Mirana, DK, Lone Druid. There we go.
Yeah, it was the Lone Druid game.
Well, it's Mirana and DK are the fundamentals of any Liquid draft. You know, then they just swap out the final mid hero and then boom. So how do you do research on a team that doesn't change their heroes? And you don't respect the heroes enough to ban them.
You just don't update your research.
Mind-boggling stuff.
Coming back to your question, like what does Liquid need to take away from the games? There's two ways they can approach it. One is we need to play this more perfectly so that we can win. The one that I don't like, because everyone is going to have a bad day, and if a player is having a bad day and you're only winning off of that, you're going to lose most of your games, right? On the other hand, they can look at their drafts and their tactics and how they move in like around the mid game and see like, okay, we have a problem here. What do we do with this lineup? With this lineup that we know, if this happens, we do this. If this happens, we do something else and stuff like that. So I feel like that should be their approach. But seeing that they're repeating their draft, they're maybe like, okay, we're just gonna play it a little bit better and try to beat Nigma that way.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh, sorry, this is Liquid. All right, don't worry. I was about to say a random fact, but I think I'm very wrong with.
I'll lead on into someone else you to talk about. How about the Shaker? We're seeing this come out again.
Yeah, it's classic.
Nice to see teams actually starting to pick it up again.
We saw Secret showcase how strong the Shaker was. It's when teams have a high level of execution, you're able to just play a more passive start to a game, and Shaker excels in games that are very much controlled. If he can freely enable that offlane with the double fissure, maybe block a camp, like block the pull camp, and then you can just move mid, and there's no kind of fear factor of, okay, they're actually able to run at me, or they're able to pressure my carry, etc. That's when he excels. And especially when you have the Coddle pick already, you need to kind of have a bit more control in your other support, especially when there's an Ember in the game. Ember loves playing against Coddle, now you just put an Earthshaker with it, you're set. You have enough control.
And you mentioned roaming mid, right? Like I feel like Shaker is one of the few fours that feels confident in his ability to go for the mid kills early on, right?
Yeah, potentially so.
Well, he's one of those position fours that can actually do it right now, because you can't really roam right now. It feels really bad playing position 4. I've been playing that position for a long time, and right now you just kind of stand in your lane, or you're not really sure what you're gonna do. But with the Shaker, you kind of have a clear idea. You're gonna block the off lane, stay there maybe for a level or two, or just rotate mid and apply pressure that way. So it's kind of easy to know what you're gonna do in the early game. As this hero, later on, they leave your lane, you farm with your Blink Dagger. We all know how that goes.
Liquid respecting the Weepo.
Oh, they are.
Nice second phase ban.
And there's a Death Prophet respect ban coming on the other side, because this hero, I think Death Prophet is 5 wins, like hasn't lost a single game so far. A formidable opponent.
It's just very easy to play around. Silence of the Lure is strong, good laning phase, and your ultimate just gives you a clear way of taking any fight.
Let's have some
On the Willow,
fun,
okay.
shall we?
Well, it is Liquid. If we're looking for a Tiger hero, this had to be in the top 3.
Yeah, they do play this hero really well. Tiger does play a mean Willow.
The Willow into Coddle Shaker. It's not really the best game for it. If you come in with Bedlam, you can get pushed away with the Coddle. You can't really go Shadow Realm TP against the Shaker. So
yeah, I think it's mainly setting the team fight. You know, you want to be able to reset if they do initiate. You've got that way just to have a strong laning phase. Willow is very strong in lane, especially with the aggression, the Bramble Maze. I think it's just giving them a way to play out these mid game fights, which is kind of what we want to see from them.
So what direction do we feel we're going to see coming out next on these picks from Nigma? What gap do they fill in the lineup right now?
Well, you've opened up with Coddle Shaker. It's the most it's just a strong, solid support duo where they can pretty much go in any route. Like here, you probably would pick maybe your mind control hero, unless there's some just boss tier Weehaw hero that he just like, yeah, just pick me, I don't care. But I'm expecting them to probably get to the end of their draft with some type of TA type lineup. Honestly, like this hero, when you see Oracle, Willow, you don't really care too much. Okay, they go Void Spirit.
That gives them a way of like looking for the Dark Willow, especially, right? Because you mentioned the Bedlam screwing up their initiation. Well, so it gives you catch now, right? Some reach.
Yeah, well, it's all about like if you get onto these supports, like all these team fights we saw in how Liquid played one of the winning games where this Oracle was always able to keep their DK alive. It was very easy for them to play the game. So when you have eventually Earthshaker with Blink and you have Void Spirit, you'll always be able to get to the backlines. And Liquid, they currently have that disconnect where Ember, he's very mobile. In some fights, he might jump to the backlines and he forgets about his team, and suddenly now you have this disparity in like your formation in a fight. But of course, you still have 2 more picks to round that out.
The problem, like they have this Void Spirit against Oracle and the Willow, and the problem I see here for Oracle and Willow is that they cannot be protected. Why? The Void Spirit can just do whatever he wants if other heroes just commit onto him. He has a Shaker and a Kotl to back him up. We all know how in clumped up areas those 2 heroes work, and you're probably not going to be able to get to him. So to me, this Void Spirit looks awesome in this draft because I can't really see them going on him. And how do you save the Oracle when he just jumps him?
I think the other thing as well is we've seen Mind Control play the Void Spirit already in this team, so there's the potential that it could just be an offlane Void Spirit, Yule's Axe build, and especially when you have that Axe of Silence, you get into the back lines and suddenly now this Oracle is pretty much mitigated from the Void Spirit being alive. And then now you have the Oracle Troll, very strong lane. Void Spirit isn't too strong of a side laner, so if it is off lane, that's going to be a very rough lane, especially because you have the Shaker. But then again, the Shaker should give the Void Spirit at least level 3 through the double fission play. So it won't be the worst lane, and I think that's maybe why I'd like to see Nigma probably put the Void Spirit on off lane, just because now that you see the Troll, you pretty much go, okay, what's Weeha's hero pool against this? You have OD, probably be a bit too greedy. You have Razor, could work.
That's good.
Razor could work, I think.
Razor's good. Wind Ranger? Could we see a Wind Ranger? That would be actually really fun.
Yeah, maybe not this game, but I could very much see out of all the teams that would go Windrunner. I think there's only 2 teams in the world right now that will actively pick it. So there's the Razor. Yeah, the only 2 teams in the world that will pick Windrunner is PSG on support, and then Nigma if it's like the perfect game, you know? Like
you don't think they would just pick it like he likes to play it?
No, there's too many other Weehaw heroes that are higher like presidents. You know, you got the Meepo, you got the TA, the Razor, the Mars. All these heroes are like much higher value in his mindset right now.
So now you ban the Queen of Pain if you're Nigma, right? I feel like, or no, it's not gonna be an.
No, they need the boxy hero, yeah.
Yeah.
Any heroes still in there that are coming to mind? Mars is already gone. The Timber is already gone.
Can you lane the Ember in mid against the Razor? I guess you skip the wave. You steal the wave behind the tower, right? As the Ember Spirit. There's no other way to play this matchup, right? Or you could go off lane Ember. Still, I feel like you need to dodge the Razor with the Ember.
But that's the thing that I think Hellraisers did, where they put just... It was like Wyvern, Troll, just aggro dual lane. They put their offlane at top, and then they just put whatever hero they needed mid. Okay. So there is potential that you could just do like Quakeover, Ember, top with, let's say, the Willow. You put the Oracle Troll bottom, and then now you've got this Razor mid, and you've got this kind of counter pick. And because Liquid have last pick, they might be able to set up their lanes like this, where they put Boxy on a casual mid. I expect that not to be the case, and they need to pick Boxy a hero that can start a fight. Like he plays these heroes that's able to be obnoxious and then control that objective type fight. You have that DK with Blink, he just goes, you know? It's like you waste spells on him, now suddenly your Troll, your Ember, they're popping off.
Do you think maybe a Centaur could be in the works for Liquid? As you said, they have final pick. You would be submitting the Razor's going to have a good lane regardless.
Yep.
But it gives you an in and out, right?
Well, this is going to be 9 games out of 10. This will be a Weehaw Razor on mid. I feel like they're just looking to pick up their miracle hero, be it like a casual Gyro or a PL or something along those lines.
I feel like Liquid is in trouble here because if they get the hero, they need to kill one of the heroes on Nigma, but you have then two supports that actually react quite well. So they're most likely gonna be needing to drag out these fights, but if you drag out the fights Troll versus Razor, you're not gonna have any damage.
Could be a good Ricky game as well. The Razor already deals with the Troll, now you have Ricky against Ember and the supports, you have this double kind of backline snipe potential.
And Ricky sometimes has problems with mana, which Kotal will actually
I think Ricky could be pretty okay. The issue then is potentially the lane's a little bit awkward, but it's a Kotal, right? He pretty much secures most lanes with blinding light.
If they get the Ricky, I feel like it's a DK for Liquid.
Yeah.
If they go that
That's
route.
what Liquid needs. Liquid does need that DK type hero who can just start a fight, or at least be tanky enough to tank spell. Okay, we'll just go for a Void. Nice.
All right. Get all the Voids in the lineup. Does this feel like a great Faceless Void game right now?
Sure,
the cheeky combos.
You've already got enough ways to, like, you've got so much team fight, right? You've got Slam, the Will-O-Wisp, you've now got Chrono. Razor naturally likes to tank up with his build. He goes Yules, BKB. You have so much elusiveness, obviously again with the Yules, BKB survivability. Void Spirit, his build on offlane will be Yules into Ags. Like, there's so many ways for them to play out a strong team fight. But with this last pick, Slardar, he's got this way to start fights. You've got the Blink Dagger buyer. You've got a way to enable this Troll, especially with the fact that you have a Razor count to it. The issue is simply, if Nigma actually get to that point of all having like 1-2 items, I think it's very hard for them, Liquid, to truly take a team fight, because they're all about that jump, pick off and poke, compared to Nigma, where it's like, we move to an objective, if you come at us, we all press our alt key, hands off the keyboards and A-click, and then you're probably gonna die. Other than Shaker, he has to blink slam, but everyone else can just blink and A-click.
I'd say that the Slardar last pick is okay, because it's actually going to give them Roche, which you do need here to actually win a team fight against Nigma. So
That is very true, yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely go with Nigma here, but Liquid has a chance. Their lanes go well, right? Again, I just feel like Nigma is a better team in the mid game. They're going to execute better, so the only way I see Liquid winning this is snowballing, taking Roche, and then eventually taking a fight that Nigma is going to lose.
Alright. Well, those are the thoughts. Just to recap that point, you say you have to blink then Echo Slam, right? That's the order?
You can also Echo Slam then blink for the style points if you like.
That may give Liquid a better chance of taking this. But that is the thoughts from the panel. I'm going to throw it over casters now. We've got OD, Pixel, and Fogged ready to take this, what should be a kick-ass series, away.
Thank you very much, Killer Pigeon. We've actually swapped out Fog today. I've got a new man in the house, Lacoste. He's going to be joining me for this one this morning, or this afternoon, depends where you are in the world. And big welcome to everybody that is watching from home. Lacoste, we've just seen the drafts. We've heard what the panels say. They seem to be favouring what Nigma's brought to the fray this time. Do you agree, or do you see some magic from the Liquid heroes?
Liquid has a lot of ways to deal with Void Spirit and the Faceless Void. Like, these two heroes don't like to play in any kind of root mechanic. And Liquid, they have three. You have Oracle, you have... What else do they have? They have Bramble Maze, and they have Searing Chains. Like, if you compare all the Void Spirits, or I mean all the spirits, Ember Spirit is the one that has a root, which cripples all the other spirits.
I mean, that's the thing. I've got to be honest. Looking at the drafts, I prefer what Liquid has. I'm very skeptical about Faceless Void in this day and age. The Chronosphere cooldown is just so long that, you know, you look in comparison at the heroes that Liquid has. What kind of long cooldowns do they have to worry about? Their longest is what, the Battle Trance on Troll, 90 seconds. Everything else is very short. They're going to be ready to fight at so many more times of the game than Nigma's lineup is. If Nigma mess up a team fight in the mid game with a whiffed Chrono, which can happen, you know, can happen to the best of us, to these guys, the top players in the world, they can still make those mistakes. Certainly Liquid's going to have big windows to make things happen, to take Roshan. They have a fantastic lineup to take Roche because of the fact they have a Slardar. Nigma's lineup, these five heroes, they don't really take Roshan that well at any point of the game.
They really do not. So Liquid should try to play around the cooldown timings if they have buybacks ready. Like, buybacks is the best weapon you can have against Faceless Void.
Yeah.
Especially on those like position 5 heroes like Oracle, even Dark Willow. These are going to be the target. They have very good heroes to cut into backlines. Void Spirit, very elusive. Same goes for Faceless Void. So if they can kill these two heroes, commit Chronosphere, holding a buyback, then getting a Roche after with Slardar. Also, I thought Slardar is going to be dead as a hero, but if you know the matchup, if you know you're playing against a melee hero, it should be a decent one for Slardar. Even though, like, such a minor change, adding 25 mana cost to sprint could just completely demolish the hero. Like, you don't see him at all.
No, not at all. I mean, one of the players that's still willing to play him is Boxy. I mean, because he was sort of the guy that was playing Slardar before it was cool, right? You know, this is Boxy. This is one of the heroes that he's just always been incredibly strong on, despite sort of the buffs and the nerfs that this hero has received. He's always just been able to play sort of a very nice lane with the hero and have excellent impact in terms of the movements he can make. So we'll see how it starts. We see also Liquid starting with this tri-lane up top, Tiger and Insania starting up here to really amp up the pressure on Miracle and to bully this Void entirely on the first few waves.
Bash and bash action on the top lane. Let's see who gets it first. I mean, it's easier for Slardar to time it.
You never know, maybe Miracle's feeling lucky today. Could get a few in a row. See, a bit of a force play onto Kuro, trying to get him away from the lane. And we'll see if the two supports do stay up here. I mean, I would imagine one of them's got to go down and help Mickey, or can Mickey truly be left on his own on this bottom lane?
They should get one hero on the bottom lane. I'm not sure why they didn't start with. Like, Void Spirit is really not a strong laner.
Yeah.
His attack animation is great, but you're also laning against Troll, who is very strong laner. He can secure the range creeps with the axes. He just did that. And GH, pulled the wave, so he is getting some denies. One of the reasons why Insania should go back to bottom and help him out. I think having Dark Willow and Slardar on the top lane is more than enough to deal with Faceless Void and Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, we'll see if they do indeed take Insania
This
away.
might be a first blood on bottom.
And he's trying for it. They're going in. TP's now coming through, and Mickey will be able to keep the distance. They can't quite close the gap, and I'd imagine, yeah, with this TP, Insania is now going to keep himself down here, make sure that Mickey is able to farm a little more securely, as he was having to start biting through the regen and being forced to sit very low due to the spam of both Mind Control and GH as they look to pressure him on that bottom lane. Mid lane matchup, 6-4 against the 9-4. The edge for Weehaw at the moment, and I guess if anything, this is just expected, right? You're a melee hero against a Razor. Early levels, you're going to have a bit of a rough time.
Yeah, you can see the play from Koikwa. Razor uses a static link. He uses Sleight of Fist on the side camp to break the static link. That's pretty smart.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, right? Like it helps you against sort of the fact you're playing against the link, but at the end of the day, even if he just gets sort of a tick of damage
on the top lane.
Can they finish him off? He jumps forward towards Boxy. They'll actually turn and punch into Miracle. Tiger, he needs one more hit after this. He's going to be able to hit the Shadow Realm. He's got the vision. Miracle's trying to hide behind the tree, but they see him, and that's going to be first blood for Liquid. Sort of a time walk too far there from Miracle as he tried to go in aggressive onto Boxy. But Liquid, they're easily able to turn it. Tiger, with the point in the Shadow Realm, punches back, and Miracle's out of the lane.
And that was Boxy without even the skilling Slither and Crush. Like, he had Guardian Sprint. I also want to see what kind of a build he's going to go for. Like, you rely to use Sprint multiple times, so you need to have some kind of mana regen item. I know I've seen Slardars building drums before. I was like, man, you can't just do that. But now I'm fine with it.
Oh, you see, you like it?
For now, yeah, because you need to have some extra mana. Before, when Sprint didn't have any mana cost, then it would be fine.
Oh, Kuro could be in trouble here, Box. He's got the bash primed, and another route will connect. Liquid continues to play this top lane very nicely. This Boxy Tiger duo on arguably their two strongest heroes, I'd even say. It's not going to be easy to play against, and Nigma's certainly feeling that. Liquid doing an excellent job of slowing down Miracle starts the game. Only 8 CS at the moment, 4 minutes in. Liquid hold that advantage 2-0. Room-wise, Qualifier finds himself a regen, but he knows he can't really go for it. GH and Weehaw will be there to secure it. GH is going to get a healthy amount of mana back thanks to it. And Weehaw with that good static link may just get the kill. A Sleight of Fist to juke out the last few hits. Qualifier will live. He's going to have to take a walk. Okay, he wants to hang around. He's got a Salve and a Mango coming out, but GH is still hovering. The level 1 Fisher wouldn't be enough damage to kill him.
And he will force him.
Yeah. He's going to
go back
to base. Yeah.
Man, Box is getting a lot of levels on the top lane. Level 4 already. Forcing Miracle to use Time Walk defensively, and now they're putting some pressure on him. Also, they're running low on region on the top lane on side of Nigma.
I mean, it's just going to make the Voids game so hard for Miracle. I think already in terms of the drafts, I don't think it's an easy game for Void because of the fact that you have these two supports that can mess with the Chrono, right? If you don't catch Insania and Tiger in these Chronospheres, you're going to get feared back, or the target you're going on is going to get protected by the Oracle. So in terms of the number of heroes you have to get with the Chrono to make it a good Chrono in the team fight, it's not going to be easy. Miracle's got to hit some perfect ults this game.
They have a very nice setup for a Chrono with Will of the Wisp, Fisher, Void Spirit jumping in, but I don't think they have enough damage inside a Chronosphere. Like, it's Faceless Void and Razor. These are the only ones who can actually deal the damage inside of it.
And GH just gets run down by the three of them. They've got to be more careful on this top lane. It's now Boxy. Now, he's not managed to find any of the kills himself. You know, he's got the 3 assists. It's the supports that are picking up the last touch. You know, Tiger sitting there 2-0-1 right now on his Willow. But this top lane, it's going beautifully for Liquid. And as I say, Miracle, he's having this slow start. Nigma's got to try and make sure that there are other lanes, at least, where they have these cores, like the Razor. Now, he's going to have to start having some early impact on this game to make sure that his other cores can get space to excel.
They definitely rely on V to create the space. Both of these cores, Void Spirit and Razor, build into Yule Scepter, which is great against the Troll, setting things up, dispelling Slardar ulti. That's gonna be a kill on the bottom lane. No points in ulti since he's level 5. Or, alright.
Nearly with the axes there.
Miss.
Yeah. GH is able to get away. One tower hit away from death. Mid lane. We are looking for the rundown onto Qualifier. Qualifier's able to hold him back with the Searing Chains. We are needs one more hit. And with the bottle regen, it wouldn't be enough anywhere. Back down towards the bottom. He was trying to go for... I was just trying to get away from Insania. Of course, sitting very low after that play onto Mickey earlier. And Insania's able to just waltz in and nuke out the Shaker.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And of course, with that great start the Boxy's had up top, he can be confidently left on his own. The supports of Liquid free to roam wherever they wish on the map. This Slardar nearly hitting level 6. And at that point, this lane becomes incredibly hard to play. I mean, not that it's been easy already for Nigma, both Miracle and especially Kuro having to be incredibly careful with their positioning, as Boxy and Tiger can easily close the gap and look for kills anytime that opportunity presents itself.
The only lane that they won is the mid lane. Razor 33-21 denies. I mean, it's pretty much the same CS as Boxy on the top lane. Now Boxy hits level 6. Corrosive Haze, once he puts that on Faceless Void, like, the lane is just unplayable for him.
I mean, what is it? Well, Tiger. He's got the round. Weehaw wants to get involved and try and find some action for Miracle. They're leading onto Tiger with no spells available. Tiger will fall slowly but surely. They want to get the kill to the Void, and they'll be able to do so. Miracle jumps in, gets the kill on Tiger. So a well-needed bit of gold for him. But still not necessarily the big one that they would have hoped for. Boxy more than strong to stand here. Even with Weehaw still around, Boxy knows that he doesn't have that much to worry about. Miracle's nowhere near the level 6, still a full level to go. So there's no sort of catch and setup. Boxy can continue to farm the lane as he wishes, and he really is. You see on his CS at the moment, 41 and 26 on the offlane Slardar. It really hasn't been... it's been as easy as it could be for Boxy at the top lane for the first 8 minutes of this game.
Quoiquan needs to recover, and you can see the V's understanding of the game. He completely realizes that Faceless Void, once Slardar hits level 6, it becomes very hard for him, so he instantly rotates to the top lane. They don't kill the Slardar, but they kill the other support, which gives Faceless Void some time to get CS. Now he switched back to the jungle, since V can't just stand on the top lane forever.
Certainly sort of the safest place to be. Another move from Wee. As soon as that Eye of the Storm is back up, he wants to get involved in some sort of a skirmish. He's heading down bottom. Mind Control and GH leading the way around this, coming up to 10 minutes, so they can try and secure that second outpost. Make sure the Liquid has to respond and get involved if they want to defend it down bottom. Mind Control and Wee will now show themselves. McKay's aware. backs off. He's also got Insania sitting in the trees behind him, and here's the smoke from Liquid. Quakefer and Tiger also sweeping around. They'll open up onto Mind Control. A quick Astral step away, and a Remnant down will stop them from chasing him. Quakefer turns towards GH instead. We are the link broken immediately. He's been rooted, held in place by the follow-up. Have they got enough nuke to kill him? The block off there from GH comes into play, but still, Mickey able to slow down Weehaw with the axes. He goes for the chrono. They've locked down Mickey. Is there any save for Mickey? They can't kill him in time. He's going to be able to pop the ult, the battle trance. He's still in pretty deep. He should still die, but he may just bring Miracle with him. Miracle falls. Mickey, he's actually going to live. He's still alive here. They haven't even killed off the troll. Jump forward with the Astral Step. Finally, Mind Control is able to kill him off, but they've lost both Weehaw and Miracle on Nigma. And these are the fights where you're using the Chronosphere and you're losing them. Not the best start to sort of the involvement from Miracle's Void. Saw an opportunity to get in. It cost Nigma the life with their carry and their mid, and they only just get Mickey.
It's very hard for Faceless Void and Void Spirit to play into these three routes. Oh, Quake on the mid lane.
Yeah, that's a bit of a big bonus for Nigma there after not the best of trades down bottom. Suddenly Quakefer just gets caught out in the mid lane with no escape available, and suddenly all things are looking to be a little bit better for Nigma.
And keep in mind, that fight was without Slardar. He was just farming on the top lane, going for a Blink Dagger. In the games yesterday against the Alliance, he went twice straight up into Blink, Power Treads into Blink on Dragon Knight, and he's doing the same thing this game. So Blink initiation on any of these heroes, Faceless Void, Void Spirit, could grab them a lot of the kills. Also, they need Insania to be level 6, a lot of pressure on the mid tower, and he stepped ham.
Very far forward there. It may have been all going to plan, as Weehaw did go pretty deep for that. Quakefer's able to TP and one more Sleight of Fist, and they get the kill. So, you know, I'm sure Insania is saying that was intended. He was more than happy baiting Weehaw in to dive for a support kill under the tower, because it would and did indeed cost Weehaw his own life.
When I said V's going ham, I meant going to the graveyard. Top lane, that's gonna be another kill.
It's speeding up. Liquid's heroes, they can play fast and they're doing it perfectly. Boxy's Blink Dagger, about 400 gold away. Things are really going to start speeding up, and Nigma, they've got to be prepared, and they have to make perfect usages of the Chronosphere every time it's available. 25 seconds and Miracle's going to have it back up again, so Nigma can look to try and respond to these fights that continue to happen around their tier 1 towers. But as you say, damage is still going to be an issue, and the controllers as well. They have to use the Chrono and the Ignis Fatuus perfectly to have complete coverage of the team fight. Otherwise, somebody is going to be able to save whoever's in the Chrono from the back lines. Down bottom, Insania.
That's a name I have not heard in a while.
It sounds so nice, you know. But it's they get the knockback onto Weehaw with that fear, and Boxy's able to turn in and start bashing him up. Weehaw, he's been corrosive haze. He's stealing the damage. It doesn't matter. A Sleight of Fist from Quakefer takes down Weehaw. And the rest of Nigma, they've just got to bail out of this one. Without their Razor, there is no fighting to be done. They have to leave the area. They only get Insania, and again, these trades, not great for Nigma, losing Weehaw once again.
Oracle, Insania, debating once again.
I mean, he is.
He still needs 1 CS to get himself to level 6.
There we go.
Now, it's much harder for them to take a fight for Nigma. I mean, you need to catch the Oracle, and you don't have like the best heroes right now. Yes, you have Faceless Void, you have Void Spirit, but Void Spirit is not just gonna go in, cut into backlines, try to just find the Oracle.
And there we go. We're about to see that timing come to fruition. There it is. 13 minutes. Blink Dagger done for Boxy. And very, very good timing. Sitting there at the top net worth right now this game. And already being able to find the 9 kills that they have. Most of these kills, to be fair, the Liquid have found have been fights where Nigma themselves have been running into the lineup of Liquid. Now Liquid can play incredibly active. This Slardar, huge force to starting off plays. Yeah, of course, Quakefer. He's not going to let that one get away. Jumps into the river. Takes out the Keeper of the Light. And you know, for all things said and done, obviously that laning phase for Quakefer was not easy. It was a 1v1 where it was obviously sided and favored towards the Razor. He's now ahead.
All the TPs. Chrono on the bottom.
Is it enough? Boxy's tanky. And he's a little too tanky for Miracle to kill. He's going to be saved by Insania, given the false promise. We are TP's in, but of course with the false promise protecting him from the damage, he can still safely blink out. Insania.
Oh no, he's not getting out of this one.
He is! He's out of there! They've got nothing to cancel it in time. This time, not even Insania's dying. That's when you know things are getting harder for Nigma.
Patience from Boxy. He was waiting for Razor to TP in so that he stuns him as well. That's a lot of damage.
He's going to take quite a punch for this. Oh, he's getting some good bashes in return. Good jukes from Boxy to dodge out the Remnant. Is there any backup coming for him? GH, he's looking for a Fisher. Mind Control still wants to try and dive this underneath the tower, but instead GH is moving back towards mid with Weehaw. Weehar's smoked up. Tiger will dispel it. They'll just open up onto the Dark Willow. He's still got the Shadow Realm to buy him some distance. He's actually able to break the chains because actually the chains from Qualifier held Weehaw in place. No static link to continue. Tiger's going to survive. Nigma just continuing to struggle to even find the support kills right now. With the way
lane, look at the execution.
Jump forward. There's the initiation. Do they have enough lockdown? He's able to get the Remnant and another step out. Boxy continues to chase. Jump out with the Dissimulate. Quofa, he's got the follow-up. The chains into the tree line. Mind Control will fall. Nothing that GH can do to offer up any sort of safety.
Spellcasting from Liquid is really on point this game. Like before it blinks, Insania uses Fortune's End, times the bash. That's just beautiful to watch. Chronosphere will be ready in 60 seconds. Man, they're relying so much on this Chrono. Earthshaker getting close to his Blink Dagger. 500 gold away. That's the insta-lockdown they need to kill the Ember Spirit.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
In terms of items for Miracle, just the treads into Maelstrom is what he's going for. It's going to take time, and even when that Maelstrom's done, he's really not going to be that much of a threat to Liquid. Bottom lane, jumping onto GH.
In and out.
He'll go down. Mind Control does come in with the TP, but nothing he can do to fight back on his own. Quite was able to play around freely and has that Arcane Rune going as well. His Maelstrom to be coming online at a very similar time really to that of the Voids. If they get a tower or two, it's going to certainly be there quicker. Weehar's build just treads straight into BKB. Feeling very vulnerable to the jump and combo that Liquid have with their heroes. Smoke up as Boxy wraps round. Looking for Weehaw. Weehar's keeping his distance. Boxy, he'll jump for the easier kill. Sees Kuro, present himself in the mid lane. And no waiting around. Liquid jump in and pushing his support out of this area means that they have the space to get the pressure onto this tier 1 tower and can continue to play the game at the pace they want to. Quofa finding a bit of a catch onto GH. Boxy doesn't want to dive too deep though. No commitment behind the tier 2. We are still sort of broken up for the rest of this team. He can't really get back to them without passing by Liquid. And as soon as he shows himself, Liquid, they'll turn, they'll jump on Weehaw, and caught on the wrong side of the team, there's no way for the rest of Nigma to get to him. Weehaw just dies alone in the river.
Liquid is very limited on the tower damage, but let's see if they want to go for Roche. Bottle from Ember Spirit with the Remnant.
I mean, Nigma's got to fight this. They've got Chrono, they've got Ignis Vartus. If they're aware of this, they need to get in there. This is a perfect opportunity to use these AoE teamfight ults. But Roche is falling fast. They're not going to have much time to react to this one. Using the Battle Trance as well to speed it up. It's down to 3rd HP. Miracle is not anywhere in the neighborhood. He's not looking to commit himself. Boxy goes for the jump onto the high ground, starting to mess with Kuroki, make sure that there's no Ignis Vartus threat for the fight as the Cottle will fall. Liquid can easily make the space around Roche to claim this, and the Aegis is theirs.
And if they kill Earthshaker, that's going to delay his Blink Dagger. Boxy ready with the Blink. Man, they're playing this so well from so far away. Koikwa, he did that yesterday with Ember Spirit into Mirana Arrow, and now he's just playing with Boxy. Long initiation, he follows it up with Blink, Slither, and Crush, and Taiga follow things up with the Shadow Realm.
Boxy, he's maybe thinking about going for a deep jump. There he is, straight away on top of Weehaw, buying time for Mika to close the gap. Mind Control jumps forward to try and take them off the Razor, but he cannot do so. Weehaw is dead, he's done. 40 seconds again, he's out of the game. And it's this game, it's as I said from the draft, Liquid's heroes, they play fast, they do not care about cooldowns. Meanwhile, Miracle, he's still trying to farm up an item, have some sort of presence in this game. As a Void, 160-second cooldown on that Chronosphere. This is a very hard hero to make work against a lineup that is constantly running at you and taking over the map.
And there is no real save on their side. I mean, you can drop Will-O-the-Wisp, that's it. But if you compare to what Liquid has, you have Oracle, you have, like, he has Disarm, Magic Immunity, and then you have Terrorize on top of that. So it's a very hard game for Faceless Void. Like, who do you chrono? If you chrono the one, the other one is just going to use his ulti. Yes.
The smoke up Nigma, but I don't know if they're going to catch Liquid off guard here. Liquid are nicely tooled up together. Mickey is ready to charge in, has that Aegis. Boxy just goes and commits immediately onto Weeha. They do manage to knock back the two of them with a blinding light. GH on the backlines gets a nice two-man slam, but it isn't quite enough to kill Insanio quite for Insanio with the self-false promise. He'll live. Mickey's able to finish up both Weeha and the Keeper of the Light. Two dead, once more Nigma. GH is separated from the rest of the squad as it's only left to Mind Control and Miracle to try and escape. Boxy is staying hot on the chase of Miracle. Will pick up the bounty ring, and you know he's going to continue to run this down. Miracle, he's got one more time walk, but Boxy's got Blink back up in a second. Boxy will dive this. He doesn't even need to. Jumps in, caught outside, not even a chance to pop the time walk. It's 21-7, 5k lead now for Liquid, and no signs of stopping. They're pushing in. They didn't even lose the Aegis in that fight. They can continue to take whatever they want from the map, and Nigma, their lineup is just not prepared to deal with this.
Problem is they don't have the clear target to go for, and you could see Mickey. Razor uses the static link, which usually works well against Trollord, but he does not care. He just pops the ulti since Razor had Corrosive Haze on him and instantly kills him.
The last few fights, we are just immediately fallen over. Still at 21 minutes in, struggling to find that first item for himself. The BKB is still half a recipe away. Miracle did get the Maelstrom complete, but this is not a hero that sort of goes from 0 to 100 after that Maelstrom pickoff. You need the item on top of it before you're able to be any sort of threat to even the supports in the team fights. You just don't offer up enough with that sort of first item. You need more time, you need more space, but Liquid at the moment, they are not giving that to Nigma.
It's so hard to itemize from Nigma. Like, Razor is forced to go for a BKB first item so that he can deal well with the mischance, dispel Corrosive Haze on him. I see Faceless Void not going for one. They have 4 roots, actually. I forgot about Troll.
Yeah.
And now he's building a Basher.
It's tough game to play.
I've seen this from Charlie. Like, they were losing a game, and he decided to go for Basher as the first item into BKB. I thought it was stupid, but getting earlier Basher on Troll, it's such a high valuable item. Also, you build status resistance, which is great against Earthshaker, so he can't lock you down.
To begin to set up bottom, Liquid maybe hoping that Boxy would have baited some action, and it is actually going to work that way. Nigma are smoking and heading straight down here, but this seems like Liquid are prepared for this sort of movement to come out from Nigma. Insania sitting behind Boxy. Do they really want to jump in onto the Slaughter? They're going to try to. Insania's able to step in with the false promise, keep Boxy alive. Insania will fall for this. The Fear knocks back the 3 of them, jump forward onto Kuros, he gets rooted, he's dead. Miracle pops the Chrono, but he's stopped by the Curse Crown, and he just dies to Jax there. Tiger with the Bedlam still going, it kills off Miracle. It's another train wreck of a team fight for Nigma. They lose 4, they only kill Insania. Nothing is going their way this game. Each and every time they're getting destroyed by Liquid in these team fights. And again, it's Chronosphere and Ignis Fatuus used, but it does nothing to help them at this stage of the game.
Once again, execution from Liquid. You could see Oracle drop the ulti, then instantly Taiga takes care of Insania 1 millisecond too late. So Insania dies, but they still get the rest of them. And Team Nigma, they're the best team in the world in terms of timing the Aegis and knowing how to fight. Man, they've done it so many times. Like, this is their go-to. We know when Aegis expires, we're gonna keep fighting. If this hero is low, we're just gonna ignore him and kill him after the Aegis expires, but it did not happen. They just don't have the tools this game. They are very limited on the damage. Razor has a 10-second BKB now. Faceless Void, okay, he switched back to BKB, understands that he needs to take care of himself.
Yeah. But even then, you know, it just doesn't feel good because damage it's going to be a huge issue. You look at these heroes on Liquid. Boxy's now got a full axe, so anytime he's able to get the puddle out, you're just not going to kill the Slardar. It doesn't matter if he's in a chrono or not. He is not going to die if he's in a puddle. Smoke up from Liquid. They're ready for another jump. They know that Nigma cannot fight. Miracle trying to get away with the time warp, but Boxy's easily able to be there in preparation for him. As Miracle will die once again, no buyback. Liquid with lots of room to push in and maybe even start poking at the high ground if they do wish.
Next Roche may respawn in a minute and 20 seconds, so I guess Liquid will just wait for that.
Not sure what the plan was there, but he's gone.
I don't know, maybe he's going for a Malk award this game.
I think you have to win for that one to work. And this one is not looking like a win for Nigma. It's looking pretty rough.
But you gotta start somewhere, right? You start with defeating, that's how it went.
Yeah, he's sort of going for half of the Malk award, you know. The less impressive half, but half of it nonetheless. This mid lane tower now getting pressured by Liquid. Chronosphere's up in a second. Mind Control's trying to do his best to cut the creep waves and slow down this push, but already the tier 3 is taken. Mind Control's able to snipe the courier of Mickey. Boxy's going to look to stay on top of them. Quick to simulate to try and juke out Boxy. Boxy's got the blink back up, jumps him, Remnant holds him back. The root from Tiger is attempted, but doesn't quite have the reach to catch him. May not matter though, it's Boxy. He's the one that just stays on top of them. Another bash into the crush. Mind Control is going to have a couple more jumps here with this Astral Step and the Assimilate. Let's go for the TP on the high ground. Boxy doesn't have the bash primed, of course, quite back up yet in time. So Mind Control will escape from that. Back down bottom, we are reaching outside of the base to try and hunt for a little bit of farm. Quaifa's on with the chase, gets the chains onto Kuroki. Doesn't want to dive any further, wants to play it safe. There's still a tier 2 for Liquid to take on that bottom lane, and as you say, Roshan, it is now back up. So multiple objectives that Liquid can play for to make sure that they look for the safest out to this game 1.
Quaifa thought Void Spirit is dead, so he just left him. Not sure why they were going for the top part of the map. Roche respawn, as you said. They need 150 gold on Oracle for buyback. Like, he should farm it before the next fight. Look at the build on Oracle. Double Bracer, Magic Wand. He is actually tanky.
I mean,
plus an Essence Ring.
Yeah, he's no longer an easy kill. I don't know if he's even a kill at all. Yeah, with these sort of items, this is not the support that was falling over in the early game. Jump forward. They do get the opening onto Mickey. Can they burst him in time? Ascendia's trying to get him rage. He doesn't even need to use the false promise yet. Mickey just gets the chance to know. The chrono kind of awkwardly done there. Didn't actually initially catch Mickey. Mickey was just sort of pulled in by the end of the battle trance. It didn't matter. I mean, Miracle is dead. They will get Insania. They are able to bite through the braces and the Essence Ring, but they're losing the entirety of their team. Kuro is gone. I do not see any way that Nigma can fight right now. They are too far behind. They're down 30-9. They're down a 9k difference in gold. And their heroes, they just don't cut it. They don't cut it at all. And Liquid they're showing that perfectly. They are abusing the lineup of Nigma to perfection this game 1. As Mind Control getting beat around by Boxy. Another kill for Liquid, whilst they're also pressuring up onto the high ground, onto the barracks. Miracle will respawn, but without the chrono, he is no sort of threat whatsoever for Liquid. And as we've seen, even with the chrono, Liquid just don't care at all about this Void.
Yeah, I believe this game is officially over. They have no chrono, they have no Will-O-Wisp. Roshan just spawns, so there's going to be Cheese and Aegis. You can't really contest that fight. And it goes down so quickly. Yeah. Also Mindbreaker on Slardar. So that's going to be an extra silence on these elusive heroes like Void Spirit and Faceless Void. Troll is just going to solo him.
Yeah, this rush, uncontestable for Nigma. Without their ultimates, not a chance at all of heading over here. It's free. Roche, Aegis, and Cheese for Liquid. Okay, now level 20. The gold difference between the cores continuing to grow at an incredible rate. Mickey nearly double the net worth of any of the carries that the Nigma has on their own team right now.
You know things are not going well when your position 5 is holding on Vampire Fangs. Like, I do not want to give it to anyone. I'm keeping it for myself. It's just for the night vision.
Nigma, they are trying to do their best at getting out on the map, clearing out some of these creep waves behind that's pushing in from Liquid, but it's still questionable how much that's going to slow down the inevitable as Liquid. Once again, they're back inside the base. Jump forward, Kuro is dead. He'll buy back immediately. This tower, I'll certainly stick around for this one, Liquid. More than happy to take a team fight. Chrono is back online. I do bring it up each time, but it doesn't really seem to bear much relevance at all to the outcome of these fights. They do manage to get a bit of an opening onto Mickey. We are able to steal a substantial amount of damage. But Mickey more than happy to wait it out, and even with the minus 79, he's still sporting a strong 200 right click, so it's not as if Mickey is rendered useless. He can still go in, and Boxy, he certainly will. He jumps forward, finds the commitment onto the Razor. The Ignis just laid down to try and stop the fight, and does allow WeHa to have the opportunity to pop BKB. But Mickey with his own BKB will push on, bite through this tier 3. GH is looking for an opportunity for a slam. He needs a huge one.
Also, Nigma does not have a hero that can split push.
No.
Like, you need to have heroes in the base. Faceless Void needs to be here, otherwise they're just gonna lose the tower. Already one long cooldown, ulti expended, no Will of the Wisp for the next fight.
See what they can do. Boxy is in onto WeHa, silenced and crushed up into the 3-man route from Tiger. Boxy's ready to step back forward, chains onto the 2 of them. Miracle holding onto the BKB and the Chrono. He's really got to find a perfect opportunity, but the problem is I don't think there's any opportunity at all with all the fail-safes that Liquid have. Aegis's, cheeses, false promises, fears. They've got it all. Kuro will go down. It's effectively a dieback on him. He's dead for 55. No way to re-enter into the fight. Yeah, Fisher holds Mickey temporarily in place, but Liquid, they'll stand their ground. They'll push on to clear out this top racks. And Nigma, what are they going to do? What can they...
Creates a puddle, and he is just unkillable. Gets a very good initiation every single time. Also zoning them out so Mickey can focus on the buildings.
And there we have it. Top racks cleared up incredibly easily for Liquid. Despite Nigma having obviously not the Kotl, but everybody else up and all their ultimates, there's just no chance to go. Who do you initiate on? At this point of the game, it really does feel impossible for Nigma to have any chance of taking a team fight.
Still Cheese and Aegis, they couldn't even take a fight before that.
Yeah.
Alright, Titan Sliver, give that to Troll. Extra status resistance. What is he bringing? Full Abyssal Blade in 100 gold.
Yeah, not a bad timing really for Mickey. He's been doing pretty well this game. 32 minutes in and an extremely kitted out inventory for this level 22 Troll Warlock.
Look at Nigma's positioning. Seems like they're ganking Tinker.
Ah, yes. You know, all they've got to do now is pick up a few Shadow Amulets and wait for the game to end. They do manage to jump in and kill Insania. But what more can they get? If anything at all, nothing. The rest of Liquid move away, and Insania says, my job is yet again done. That's all he needs to do. He just goes in, he dies, he did his job. And obviously on top of the 5 deaths, you know, you've got to mention he's also 6 kills and 10 assists. You know, it's even though he's been dying, he's still had a flawless game in terms of involvement.
It felt like he died way more times than just 5.
He's just a master of it. And it's you really see it reflected on the rest of Liquid's scoreline. You know, none of their other heroes have died more than twice because of how tight they're playing as a team and making sure that a hero only dies when it truly needs to, and when it's a hero that's like this position 5 Oracle that goes in and saves the lives of the others. Jump forward with that Abyssal. They're in onto WeHa. No chance for a BKB or a Lotus. Of course, this build, you know, don't try it in your pubs if you're playing Razor. This is sort of the build that you build when, you know, the game's already over. You just go full defensive. As your game has been entirely shut down. 3-10-3 on the Razor this game. It's bottom
Razor
lane.
does not have a buyback.
And they're just hemorrhaging heroes again. Mind Control's dead. GH will fall. 37-10. And this very long drawn-out conclusion to this game. We'll continue. They'll buy back, and we still have a chrono. Now it's going to have to be some it's going to have to be like a 9-man chrono. Problem is there's only 5 heroes on Liquid side. They get a 2-man chrono, that's not going to cut it. The fear comes out, pushes them away. Fortunately for Nigma, they will have the chronosphere back up in 160 seconds. You know, go make yourself a cup of tea, cook yourself some food, and it'll be ready.
When it's time to call it, it is time to call it. Like, there's nothing you can do in this game anymore. Lotus Orb on wheel, let's go.
Let's go. Back to the fountain. So we are BKB ends.
Back to the graveyard.
So does his life. Kuro, he'll die too. Godlike on Boxy, 9-0-19. Not a bad game from the Slardar. Not a bad game at all. GG has called this one well and truly over as Liquid take game 1 with... Now, as I also said at the start, I really feel Nigma's draft, regardless to sort of the team you put behind it, it's a very hard setup of heroes to play with.